The morning sun filtered through the large windows of the Interspecies Cultural Center in Chicago. Olivia Benson hummed as she wiped down her countertops with practiced efficiency. Today was important. As head chef of the culinary department, she had been chosen to represent humanity in the first official kitchen inspection by the Galactic Union. It had been only 6 months since Earth joined the Galactic Union. Most humans were still getting used to the idea that they weren't alone in the universe. Diplomats and scientists were working overtime to catch up with the thousands of alien species who had been trading, fighting, and making peace with each other for millennia. Olivia sprayed more cleaner on her already spotless stainless steel surfaces. She had spent 3 days preparing for this inspection. Every pot hung in perfect alignment. Each knife was sharpened and arranged by size. The refrigerator was organized by food type and expiration date. No human kitchen had ever been cleaner. "They're here," called Daniel Wright, her sous chef, poking his head through the door. His normally calm face looked worried. "And Liv, they're wearing suits of some kind." "Like formal suits?" Olivia asked, quickly removing her apron to check her own outfit. Daniel shook his head. "More like hazmat suits. I don't know. You should come see." Olivia followed Daniel to the lobby, where 3 aliens waited. She recognized their species as Vexillians from the orientation videos. They stood taller than humans, with slender bodies and 6 eyes arranged in a circle on their faces. Their forearms moved in constant, graceful patterns as they spoke to each other in clicks and whistles. What surprised Olivia was indeed the suits. Each alien wore a transparent bubble around their head and sealed bodysuits that seemed to shimmer with energy. Small devices on their wrists blinked with colored lights. "Welcome to Earth and to our culinary center," Olivia said with her most professional smile. "I'm Chef Olivia Benson. I'll be showing you our kitchen facilities today." The tallest alien stepped forward. Its suit translated its clicks into a flat electronic voice. "I am Senior Health Inspector Zix Evora of the Galactic Union Health and Safety Commission. These are my colleagues, Inspector Merle and Technical Specialist Plex." Zix Evora's 6 eyes blinked in sequence as it continued. "We are here to evaluate your food preparation areas according to Galactic Standard 5529B. We understand that as a newly admitted species, humans may not meet all requirements immediately. We're very excited to show you our facilities," Olivia said. "We've prepared a demonstration of Earth's cooking techniques that I think you'll find interesting." All 6 of Zix Evora's eyes narrowed simultaneously. "We are not here to be entertained, Chef Benson. We are here to identify biohazards." "Of course," Olivia said, her smile fading slightly. "Please, follow me." As they entered the kitchen, Olivia noticed the aliens' devices began blinking more rapidly. Inspector Merle made a high-pitched sound that the translator didn't catch. "This is our main preparation area," Olivia explained, gesturing to her pristine workspace. "We have separate stations for different types of food preparation to prevent cross-contamination." Zix Evora moved a scanner over the cutting boards. "You prepare food manually? With physical tools?" All 6 eyes widened. "Yes, of course," Olivia said. "How else would we do it?" The 3 aliens exchanged looks. Technical Specialist Plex spoke, for the first time. "Most civilized species use molecular assemblers for nutrition. Physical manipulation of organic material is primitive." Olivia felt her cheeks warm. "Well, human food is more than just nutrition. It's culture, tradition." "What is this chamber?" interrupted Zix Evora, pointing at the refrigerator. "That's a refrigerator. It keeps food cold to preserve it longer." All 3 aliens moved back slightly. Inspector Merle's device flashed red. "You store dead organic matter at low temperatures to delay decomposition?" Zix Evora asked, all 6 eyes blinking rapidly. "Yes, that's exactly right," Olivia said, proud they understood so quickly. "And then you consume this preserved dead matter?" Technical Specialist Plex added. Olivia's smile faltered. "Well, yes, that's what food is." The aliens conferred among themselves in quick clicks and whistles that the translator couldn't keep up with. Olivia glanced at Daniel, who shrugged helplessly. Perhaps a demonstration would help, Olivia suggested. I was planning to show you how we make a simple omelet. Before the aliens could object, she retrieved eggs from the refrigerator. The aliens' devices blinked frantically as she carried the carton to the counter. These are chicken eggs, she explained. A very versatile ingredient in human cooking. Those are reproductive vessels of another species, Zixvora stated flatly. Well, yes, unfertilized eggs, Olivia clarified. Watch. With practiced skill, she cracked an egg against the side of a glass bowl. The yellow yolk and clear white slid into the bowl. The reaction was immediate. All three aliens backed away rapidly. Inspector Merle emitted a series of urgent clicks. Technical specialist Plex's forehands moved in what appeared to be emergency gestures. Zixvora's translator struggled to keep up with its rapid speech. Containment breach, biological containment breach. The human has manually ruptured a biological vessel, exposing internal proteins to atmospheric contamination. It's just an egg, Olivia said, bewildered. I'm going to cook it. Cook? Zixvora asked, sounding alarmed. Yes, apply heat to transform it chemically, Olivia explained, reaching for a whisk. This was apparently the wrong thing to say. Zixvora backed away further and raised all four arms in what seemed to be an official gesture. By the authority of the Galactic Union Health and Safety Commission, I am declaring this facility a Level 3 biohazard zone. No one may enter or exit until a containment team arrives. What? You can't be serious, Olivia protested. But Zixvora was already activating a device on its wrist. A shimmering field of energy spread from it, forming a barrier at all entrances to the kitchen. Containment field established, the alien announced. Chef Benson, please step away from the ruptured biological material and make no attempt to initiate chemical reactions. It's breakfast, Olivia exclaimed. I'm making breakfast. Zixvora ignored her protests and spoke into a communication device. Central, this is Senior Inspector Zixvora. We have discovered a major violation of biological handling protocols. The humans are manually processing raw biological matter in open air. Yes, manually. With primitive cutting tools, they are intentionally rupturing cellular boundaries and applying heat to cause chemical reactions. Yes, on purpose. There was a pause as Zixvora listened to the response. Understood. We need a full containment team and at least 3 exobiologists. The humans call this place a kitchen, but it appears to be an unregulated biological experimentation facility. Most concerning of all, they intend to consume the results. Daniel edged closer to Olivia. What's happening? He whispered. Olivia stared at the egg in the bowl, then at the horrified aliens, and finally at the energy barrier preventing them from leaving the kitchen. I think, she said slowly, we've just started an interstellar incident over breakfast. Outside the shimmering barrier, staff members of the Interspecies Cultural Center began to gather, pointing and whispering. Someone was on the phone, presumably, calling higher authorities. Olivia sighed. This was not how she had imagined first contact in the kitchen would go. An hour later, the kitchen of the Interspecies Cultural Center was filled with even more aliens. The glowing barrier still sealed all exits, and Olivia watched in disbelief as aliens in even bulkier suits scanned every inch of her once pristine kitchen. This is ridiculous, she muttered to Daniel. They're acting like I was making poison, not breakfast. Daniel nodded, keeping a wary eye on an alien who was taking samples from the spice rack. I never thought oregano would be considered dangerous, the toter beyond the barrier flickered, and a human man in a crisp gray suit stepped through after an alien waved some kind of device. The barrier sealed behind him. Chef Benson? He asked, approaching Olivia with an outstretched hand. Frank Harrison, Department of Interspecies Relations. I'm here to help sort this out. Olivia shook his hand. Thank goodness. These aliens think my kitchen is some kind of biological warfare lab. Frank smiled tightly. Yes, there's been a significant misunderstanding. I've spoken briefly with the Galactic Union representatives outside, but I wanted to hear your side before we proceed. All I did was crack an egg, Olivia explained. I was trying to show them how humans prepare food. Frank winced. That explains. Their reports about Deliberate rupturing of biological containment vessels. Look, Chef Benson, most advanced species in the galaxy abandoned biological food sources thousands of years ago. They consider our eating habits primitive at best, revolting at worst. Before Olivia could respond, the kitchen door flickered again. A new alien entered, this one wearing a less restrictive suit than the others. It was shorter than Zixvora, with pale blue skin visible through its transparent helmet. "Ah," said Frank. "This is Dr. Klepax, an exobiologist specializing in developing species. The doctor has been studying human culture since we joined the Union." Dr. Klepax approached and made a gesture with its upper right hand. "Greetings. I apologize for this situation. My colleagues are not familiar with biological food processing cultures." "Thank you," Olivia said, relieved to find at least one alien who didn't seem horrified by her kitchen. "Can you explain to them that we're not doing anything dangerous?" "Dangerous is relative," Dr. Klepax replied, its translator conveying a thoughtful tone. "What is safe for humans may not be safe for other species. But yes, I will help clarify the cultural context." Zixvora approached them, scanners still blinking on its wrist. "Dr. Klepax, we have detected multiple violations. This facility contains devices for applying extreme heat to organic matter, tools for mechanically dividing biological materials, and most concerning, colonies of active microorganisms." "Microorganisms?" Olivia asked. "Your refrigeration unit," Dr. Klepax explained. "It contains several items with living bacterial cultures. Yogurt, cheese, sourdough starter." "Those are supposed to have bacteria," Olivia protested. "The good kind of bacteria." All 6 of Zixvora's eyes blinked in sequence. "Intentional microbial contamination. This is worse than we thought." Frank stepped in. "Senior Inspector, on Earth, certain bacteria have been cultured for thousands of years to create safe, nutritious foods. It's a traditional preservation method." "Preservation through controlled decomposition," Dr. Klepax added helpfully. "Quite ingenious for a pre-molecular civilization." "Ingenious or not," Zixvora replied, "it violates at least 17 safety protocols, and that's before addressing the chemical weapons." "Chemical weapons?" Daniel asked, looking around the kitchen in confusion. Dr. Klepax moved to the spice rack and picked up a jar. "I believe the inspector is referring to these capsaicin-containing plant materials, what humans call hot peppers and their derivatives." "Spices aren't weapons," Olivia said. "They contain compounds evolved specifically to deter consumption," Zixvora stated. "And yet humans intentionally add them to their biological intake." "Because they taste good," Olivia insisted. This statement caused a flurry of clicks and whistles among the alien inspection team. Dr. Klepax made a sound that might have been a chuckle. "Fascinating," the doctor said. "Humans have evolved to enjoy mild toxic responses. It's an unusual adaptation." Frank checked his watch with growing concern. "Senior Inspector, while I understand your concerns, this is causing a diplomatic situation. Your containment field is preventing normal operations at a major cultural center, and news agencies have already caught wind of the incident." As if on cue, Olivia noticed movement outside the kitchen windows. Several hovering devices, like small, metallic spheres, were floating outside, emitting light beams that seemed to be recording everything. "Galactic media," Dr. Klepax explained, following her gaze. "News travels fast when it involves new species." "Great," Olivia sighed. "I'm going to be the alien equivalent of a viral video." Zixvora moved to the window, addressing one of the media spheres directly. "This is a standard containment operation. The human food preparation area contains numerous biohazards, including ruptured protein vessels, heat-induced chemical alteration devices, and intentionally cultured microorganisms." "Can they stop broadcasting?" Frank asked urgently. Dr. Klepax shook its head. "Public safety information cannot be restricted. This is being streamed to approximately 2.3 billion viewers across 17 sectors." Olivia felt her face grow hot. "So billions of aliens are watching me get in trouble for making an omelet?" "They are learning about human food practices," Dr. Klepax corrected. "Though yes, most are likely horrified." One of the alien technicians approached Zixivora with a scanner, showing readings from the oven. The senior inspector's reaction was immediate. You subject your food to temperatures exceeding 400 of your Fahrenheit units? All 6 eyes widened in what appeared to be shock. That is nearly hot enough to initiate combustion. That's the point, Daniel said. For some foods, anyway. You intentionally carbonize your nutrients? Another inspector asked. Sometimes, Olivia admitted, like when we grill meat or toast bread. This prompted another round of alarmed clicks and whistles. Frank pulled Olivia and Daniel aside, speaking quietly. This is getting out of hand. The Galactic Union takes health regulations very seriously. If they classify human cooking as inherently hazardous, it could affect Earth's standing in the Union. What can we do? Olivia asked. We can't change how humans prepare food overnight. Frank thought for a moment. We need to shift the narrative from safety hazard to cultural practice. Dr. Klepak seems sympathetic. Perhaps we can appeal to the scientific and cultural interest of our food preparation methods. As they spoke, Dr. Klepak had moved to examine a plate of cookies Olivia had baked that morning. The alien was scanning them intently. These contain heated plant carbohydrates combined with solidified mammary gland extracts and sweetening compounds, the doctor observed, and they were subjected to controlled application of heat until a chemical reaction caused physical transformation. Call that baking, Olivia said. Those are chocolate chip cookies. Dr. Klepak looked around carefully, then to everyone's surprise broke off a tiny piece of cookie. A small port opened in its helmet, and the cookie fragment disappeared inside. The other aliens froze, staring at Dr. Klepak. Doctor, Zixivora exclaimed, you have contaminated yourself with human biological matter. Dr. Klepak's eyes blinked in a pattern that somehow conveyed embarrassment. For scientific purposes only. I must understand all aspects of human culture, including their chemical transformation rituals. Olivia couldn't help smiling. And? What do you think? Dr. Klepak was quiet for a moment before responding. Interesting. Very complex flavor compounds. I can see why humans would develop this practice. For the first time since the inspection began, Olivia felt a glimmer of hope. If one alien could appreciate human cooking, maybe there was a way forward after all. The afternoon dragged on as the alien inspection team documented every aspect of Olivia's kitchen. They took samples from every surface, photographed all the equipment, and made detailed notes about each ingredient in the pantry. Each discovery seemed to horrify them more than the last. They just spent 20 minutes scanning my salt and pepper shakers, Olivia told Frank, watching an alien carefully place her pepper grinder into a containment box. They find it difficult to understand why humans would intentionally add rock, particles and plant irritants to their food, Frank explained. Dr. Klepak approached them carrying a tablet-like device. I've been reviewing the inspection team's findings. The situation is complicated. How bad is it? Frank asked. They've documented 43 major violations and over 200 minor ones, Dr. Klepak said. From a galactic standard perspective, this kitchen is essentially a biological experimentation laboratory with no safety protocols. Olivia crossed her arms. It's just a kitchen. Humans have been cooking this way for thousands of years. That's precisely what fascinates me, Dr. Klepak replied. Your species has developed cooking techniques that would kill most other intelligent life forms, yet you thrive on them. Zixivora joined their conversation, all 6 eyes focused on a scanning device. Dr. Klepak, we've completed our analysis of the cold storage unit. It contains dairy products with active bacterial cultures, fermented grain paste, and several plant specimens in various stages of decomposition. Those are vegetables, Daniel called from across the room, where he was being interviewed by another inspector. They're fresh. They have been separated from their parent organisms and are slowly dying, Zixivora corrected, and you intend to consume them in this state. Frank stepped forward. Senior Inspector, I understand your concerns, but we need to resolve this situation. The human media has gotten wind of this incident, and Earth's representatives to the Galactic Union are demanding answers. The regulations are clear, Zixivora stated. This facility must be decontaminated according to standard protocols. Olivia gasped. Decontaminated? What does that mean? All biological material would be neutralized, all surfaces sterilized, and all equipment that cannot be properly sanitized would be atomized. Sixvora explained. You want to destroy my kitchen? Olivia's voice rose in disbelief. Dr. Klepax made a gesture that seemed to indicate discomfort. Perhaps there is an alternative approach. This could be classified as a protected cultural site instead of a standard food preparation area. Zixvora's eyes blinked in sequence. That would require approval from the Cultural Preservation Committee. Their nearest representative is 3 light-years away. Actually, Frank interjected, Earth was granted emergency cultural autonomy provisions when we joined the Union. It's in Section 47B of the Admission Charter. The door to the kitchen flickered again as the barrier allowed a new person to enter. A woman in a crisp business suit walked in, surveying the chaos with raised eyebrows. Lisa Jones, Director of Human Cultural Affairs, she introduced herself. I came as soon as I heard about this, situation. Frank looked relieved. Director Jones, the Galactic Health and Safety Commission is considering our kitchen a biohazard zone. Lisa nodded calmly. So I've heard. The Galactic Union Council is already discussing the matter. Several representatives have expressed concern about human food preparation methods. They think we're barbarians, Olivia said. Different, not barbaric, Dr. Klepax corrected gently. Most spacefaring species abandoned biological food processing at least 1,000 years before achieving interstellar travel. It's simply unexpected to find a species at your technological level still engaging in these practices. Lisa pulled out her own tablet. I've been reviewing the regulations, and I believe we can make a case for exemption under the Protected Cultural Practices Act. Zixvora seemed unconvinced. Even protected cultural practices must meet minimum safety standards, which is why, Lisa continued smoothly, I'm proposing that human kitchens be reclassified as cultural food processing laboratories, with special training requirements and containment protocols. As they discussed the bureaucratic details, Olivia noticed Dr. Klepax examining her spice rack with particular interest. You're actually curious about our food, aren't you? She asked quietly, moving closer to the alien scientist. I am an exobiologist, Dr. Klepax replied. Different biological adaptations fascinate me. Your species has developed a remarkable relationship with your food. You don't simply consume nutrients, you transform them, combine them, create with them. That's cooking, Olivia said with a small smile. It's not just about staying alive. It's about enjoyment, tradition, bringing people together. Dr. Klepax's eyes seemed to sparkle within its helmet. The cookie sample I analyzed contained compounds that triggered pleasure responses in your brain chemistry. Is this intentional? Of course, Olivia laughed. That's the whole point. Food should taste good. The conversation between Frank, Lisa, and Zixvora was growing heated. The Galactic Union cannot make exceptions to basic safety standards, Zixvora insisted. And humans cannot abandon cooking overnight, Lisa countered. It's fundamental to our culture. Olivia had a sudden inspiration. What if we show them? Daniel looked at her. Show them what? What cooking really means to humans, Olivia said. Not just the technical process, but the result, the experience. She turned to Dr. Klepax. Would it be possible to arrange a demonstration? A meal for the inspectors and officials? Dr. Klepax considered this. It would require special permission, voluntary exposure to human food substances. Not to eat necessarily, Olivia clarified quickly. Just to observe the whole process, to understand why cooking matters to us. Frank overheard and joined their conversation. That's actually a good idea. Cultural exchange through observation is a well-established diplomatic practice. I would be willing to observe such a demonstration, Dr. Klepax said. For scientific purposes. Zixvora seemed skeptical. Our inspection is nearly complete. We have sufficient evidence of violations. But not sufficient understanding of context, Lisa argued. If Earth's membership in the Galactic Union is to succeed, both sides need to learn about their differences. This could be an important first step. The senior inspector's 6 eyes blinked in what appeared to be frustration. What would this demonstration involve? A dinner, Olivia said simply. I'll prepare a meal that showcases human cooking techniques and will explain the cultural and scientific aspects of each dish. You don't have to eat anything, just observe. And document, Dr. Klepax added. This could provide valuable data on human biochemical adaptations. After a moment of consideration, Zixavora made a gesture that the translator interpreted as reluctant agreement. Very well. One demonstration, under strict containment protocols. I will allow it primarily for scientific documentation. Olivia felt a wave of relief. Thank you, I promise you'll find it educational. As the aliens continued their inspection, Olivia pulled Daniel aside. We need to plan the most important meal we've ever cooked, one that shows why human food matters. Daniel nodded. What are you thinking? A complete sensory experience, Olivia said, her mind already racing with ideas. Dishes that showcase fermentation, cooking with heat, combining ingredients, everything. They find horrifying, but in a way that shows its beauty. They still might not understand, Daniel warned. Maybe not, Olivia admitted. But at least they'll see that there's more to human cooking than biohazards. There's heart in it. There's history. As she looked around at her kitchen full of alarmed aliens, Olivia realized that her simple cooking demonstration had somehow become Earth's culinary stand against the galaxy. The dinner would need to be perfect. The next day, Olivia arrived at the Interspecies Cultural Center 6 hours before the scheduled dinner demonstration. The kitchen still had the shimmering containment field around it, but at least the inspection team had allowed her to bring in fresh ingredients. This is everything we need, she told Daniel as they unpacked the supplies. I've planned a 5-course meal that showcases different human cooking techniques. Daniel looked nervous as he arranged vegetables on the counter. Do you really think this will work? These aliens think our food is basically poison. Not poison, Dr. Klepax said, entering the kitchen, simply concerning from a safety perspective. The alien scientist had been assigned to monitor their preparations. Olivia smiled at the alien. Well, I hope to show that our concerning practices have created something special. I'm curious to observe, Dr. Klepax admitted. I've brought several colleagues who specialize in different scientific fields. They've agreed to provide context for your demonstration. As if on cue, the barrier flickered, and 3 humans in lab coats entered the kitchen, followed by Frank and Lisa. Chef Benson, Lisa said, let me introduce Dr. Patricia Coleman, a microbiologist, Dr. Alan Martinez, a food chemist, and Dr. Carl Wong, an anthropologist specializing in food history. The science team, Frank explained, they'll help explain the technical aspects of cooking to our guests. Dr. Coleman immediately approached Olivia. I hear you're showcasing fermentation. I've brought slides of beneficial bacteria to help illustrate the difference between harmful contamination and controlled fermentation. And I've prepared demonstrations of the Maillard reaction and caramelization, Dr. Martinez added, setting down a case of equipment. I'll be explaining how cooking shaped human civilization, Dr. Wong said. From controlling fire to the development of agriculture. Olivia felt a wave of relief. Thank you all for coming. This means a lot. Over the next few hours, the kitchen buzzed with activity. Olivia and Daniel prepared the meal while the scientists set up their demonstrations. Dr. Klepax watched everything with obvious fascination, occasionally taking samples for analysis. The cell structures changed dramatically when exposed to heat, the alien observed as Olivia seared a piece of meat. Yet the nutritional value remains largely intact. Cooking makes some nutrients more available to our bodies, Dr. Martinez explained. The heat breaks down cell walls that our digestive system couldn't process otherwise. By late afternoon, everything was ready. The dining room adjacent to the kitchen had been set up with a long table, scientific displays, and monitoring equipment for the aliens who wouldn't be consuming the food. They're here, Lisa announced, looking at her tablet. Olivia took a deep breath and straightened her chef's coat. Let's do this. The barrier flickered as Zixavora entered, followed by 6 other aliens of various species. They all wore protective suits, though less bulky than the day before. Behind them came several floating media spheres. "Welcome," Frank said formally. "Thank you for agreeing to this cultural demonstration." Zixvora's 6 eyes scanned the room. "We are here to observe and document human food practices in their cultural context. No consumption will occur except by designated research personnel." All eyes turned to Dr. Klepax, who stood a little straighter. "I have volunteered to analyze minimal samples through my specially modified intake port." "We appreciate your scientific dedication," Lisa said diplomatically. "Please, everyone take your seats." The aliens arranged themselves at the table, their monitoring devices blinking. The human scientists sat opposite them with Frank and Lisa at either end. Olivia and Daniel remained standing, ready to present each course. "Before we begin," Olivia said, "I want to explain what we hope to show today. Humans don't just eat for nutrition. Food connects us to our history, our families, and each other. It's a form of communication and care." Zixvora's translator conveyed a skeptical tone. "Communication through biological matter seems inefficient." "Sometimes the most meaningful things aren't about efficiency," Dr. Wong commented. "They're about connection." Olivia nodded gratefully and presented the first dish. "We'll start with bread and fermented dairy products, what we call cheese." Dr. Coleman stepped in, activating a holographic display showing microorganisms. "What you're seeing is not contamination but controlled microbial action. These specific bacteria transform milk proteins through a process that humans have refined over thousands of years." One of the alien officials leaned forward. "Your species intentionally cultivates microorganisms for consumption?" "Yes," Dr. Coleman confirmed. "We have a symbiotic relationship with many microbes. They help us digest food, create new flavors, and preserve nutrients." Dr. Klepax carefully took a small sample of cheese through the port in its helmet. The other aliens watched intently as the scientist analyzed it. "Complex protein structures," Dr. Klepax reported. "The bacterial action has broken down lactose and created new compounds not present in the original milk." "Exactly," Olivia said. "That's what gives each cheese its unique flavor." The second course was a vegetable soup, which Dr. Martinez used to demonstrate how cooking breaks down plant cell walls. "The heat transforms these compounds," he explained, showing molecular models, making them both more digestible and more flavorful. "Flavor is a key concept in human cooking," Olivia added. "We don't just eat to live, we seek out certain tastes and experiences." The third course was the most challenging, a small piece of seared meat. Several aliens moved back from the table as Olivia presented it. "This is perhaps the most difficult aspect of human food for other species to understand," Dr. Wong acknowledged. "But cooking meat was a crucial development in human evolution. It allowed our ancestors to extract more nutrients with less energy spent on digestion. The application of heat causes proteins to denature," Dr. Martinez demonstrated with a portable scanner. "What you're seeing is the Maillard reaction, a complex interaction between amino acids and sugars." Zixvora's eyes narrowed. "This was once part of a living creature?" "Yes," Olivia said simply. "Many human cultures have rituals to honor the animals that provide food. It's not something we take lightly." Dr. Klepax seemed less disturbed than the others. "Many species evolved as omnivores before developing synthetic alternatives. Humans are simply at an earlier stage of that development." The fourth course was fermented vegetables, sauerkraut and kimchi. Dr. Coleman explained the preservation aspects while Olivia described how different cultures developed unique fermentation methods. Throughout the meal, Dr. Klepax took small samples of each dish, analyzing and documenting the results. The other aliens asked questions, some hostile but others genuinely curious. For the final course, Olivia presented a simple chocolate cake. "This represents pure human creativity," she said. "None of these ingredients, chocolate, flour, sugar, needs to be combined or heated, but together, transformed by baking, they create something new and wonderful." As the demonstration concluded, the kitchen fell silent. Olivia looked at the aliens, trying to read their reactions through their protective helmets. "Well?" Frank asked finally. What do you think? Zixvora looked at its data tablet. The process remains highly concerning from a safety perspective. However, the alien paused. The cultural context provides important additional factors for consideration. It wasn't exactly approval, but Olivia felt it was a start. 1 month after the dinner demonstration, Olivia stood nervously in her kitchen at the Interspecies Cultural Center. The shimmering containment field was gone, replaced by a new, less intrusive system that glowed softly at each doorway. Above the main entrance hung a newly installed sign, Certified Human Culinary Educational Center, Biohazard Containment Level 3. Well, it's not perfect, Frank said, standing beside her, but it's a compromise we can live with. At least they didn't atomize my kitchen, Olivia replied with a small smile. Daniel rushed in, waving a tablet. The Galactic Health and Safety Commission just released their official report. You've got to see this. Olivia took the tablet and read aloud. After extensive study and cultural consultation, the Commission has classified Earth cooking practices as protected historical food processing methods under Statute 47B. While human kitchens remain technical, biohazard zones due to biological manipulation, manual processing, and heat application, they are granted exemption from standard decontamination protocols provided proper containment measures are maintained. Frank nodded. It's actually better than we hoped. This classification protects all human cooking, not just specialty kitchens like this one. Keep reading, Daniel urged. The Commission recognizes that evolution has adapted humans to safely consume materials processed in these methods, Olivia continued reading. However, warning signs must be posted to protect non-human visitors from accidental exposure to active biological cooking zones. It's why we have these, Frank explained, pointing to the glowing doorways. They're not barriers, just scanners, that alert any non-human that they're entering a space where biological processing occurs. Lisa entered the kitchen, accompanied by Dr. Klepax, who no longer wore a protective suit, though a small breathing filter covered the lower part of its face. Congratulations, Chef Benson, Lisa said. Your kitchen is now officially the first Galactic certified human cooking educational facility. The scientific papers from our demonstration have generated significant interest, Dr. Klepax added. 3 xenobiology journals have published special issues on human food processing techniques. Olivia shook her head in amazement. All this because I cracked an egg. You did much more than that, Dr. Klepax said. You helped establish a framework for understanding different evolutionary approaches to nutrition. My paper on diverse nutritional processing systems among sentient species has been accepted as required reading at the Galactic Academy. The kitchen door chimed as it slid open. To everyone's surprise, Zixvora entered, wearing only a minimal breathing filter similar to Dr. Klepax's. Senior Inspector, Frank greeted, clearly surprised. We didn't expect you back on Earth so soon. All 6 of Zixvora's eyes blinked in sequence. I have been assigned as permanent liaison to the Human Culinary Affairs Division. My experience with your unusual practices made me the logical choice. That's wonderful, Lisa said. Your expertise will be invaluable as we continue integrating human food culture into the galactic community. Zixvora turned to Olivia. Chef Benson, I must inform you that your demonstration has had unexpected consequences. Olivia tensed. What kind of consequences? Tourism, Zixvora said simply. The media coverage of our inspection has generated substantial interest in human cooking methods. Tour groups from 17 systems have requested permission to observe human kitchen rituals in action. Daniel laughed. We're a tourist attraction now. Apparently, Dr. Klepax confirmed, watching humans cook is becoming the equivalent of an extreme sport for some species, particularly the application of open flame to food, which many find both horrifying and fascinating. Like watching someone walk a tightrope without a safety net, Frank suggested. Precisely, Dr. Klepax agreed. Olivia wasn't sure how to feel about aliens watching her cook as some kind of thrill-seeking activity. So what happens now? Now, Lisa said, we build on this opportunity. The Galactic Cultural Exchange Committee has approved funding for an expanded facility here. We'll have cooking demonstrations, classes on food history, and scientific explanations of human food preparation. And I will ensure all safety protocols are followed, Zixvora added. Over. The next few weeks, Olivia's kitchen was transformed. New viewing areas were installed where visitors could safely watch cooking demonstrations. Dr. Coleman and Dr. Martinez set up permanent scientific stations to explain fermentation and cooking chemistry. Dr. Wong created interactive displays about food history across human cultures. On the day of the official opening, visitors from a dozen alien species lined up outside. Many wore protective gear, while others simply watched from behind special shields. All seemed both terrified and excited to witness human cooking up close. I never thought I'd be cooking for aliens who won't even eat the food, Olivia told Daniel as they prepared for the first demonstration. Think of it as performance art, he suggested. The first demonstration was a simple bread-making class. Aliens watched in fascination as Olivia mixed flour and water, added yeast, and explained the fermentation process. When she put her hands into the dough to knead it, several aliens gasped audibly. "She's touching the biological material directly," one whispered loudly enough for the translator to pick up. "Is this not dangerous for humans?" another asked. "Not at all," Olivia explained, continuing to knead. "In fact, humans have been making bread this way for thousands of years. The process connects us to our ancestors." As the bread baked, filling the kitchen with its aroma, Olivia noticed something unexpected. Dr. Klepax was quietly explaining something to Zixvora in their native language. The senior inspector appeared hesitant, then approached Olivia after the demonstration. "Chef Benson," Zixvora said formally, "I have a request of a personal nature." "Yes?" Olivia prompted, curious. All 6 eyes blinked in what she now recognized as embarrassment. "I wish to learn more about this baking process. For scientific documentation purposes, of course." Olivia smiled, suddenly understanding. "Would you like me to teach you how to bake, Inspector?" "Under proper safety protocols," Zixvora clarified quickly, "as a cultural research project." "Of course," Olivia agreed, trying not to laugh. "We can start with something simple." 6 months later, the Interspecies Culinary Center had become one of Earth's most popular attractions for alien visitors. Olivia's cooking classes for non-humans had a waiting list hundreds of names long. Dr. Klepax had published a best-selling xenobiology text called Cooking Across the Cosmos: Diverse Approaches to Nutrition. And most surprisingly of all, Zixvora had become something of a celebrity among certain adventurous alien circles. The former inspector now hosted a regular cooking demonstration called Extreme Human Cuisine, where it explained the science behind human food preparation while actually handling ingredients itself. "I never thought I'd see the day," Frank told Olivia as they watched Zixvora carefully knead bread dough with all 4 of its hands. "The galaxy is full of surprises," Olivia replied. "Sometimes the things that seem most alien to us become the most familiar once we take the time to understand them." As if to prove her point, Zixvora looked up from its work, all 6 eyes forming what Olivia now recognized as the alien equivalent of a smile.